next take, the AFC West is now the toughest division in football, and I'm actually going to go ahead and play contrarian here. I'm going to say that's a cold take. I don't know, I guess I say contrarian not knowing what you're going to say, but I'm going contrarian from what this take says. Russell Wilson to the Broncos does shift the pendulum away from the NFC West, which is who we have said the last few years has been the best division in football, but I'm actually going to say it's the AFC North, and here's why. You've got the Bengals coming off a Super Bowl appearance, so that's one. You've got the Steelers that made the playoffs with Big Ben last season. So, I mean, not Big Ben who was winning Super Bowls, not Big Ben who was, slinging the ball to Antonio Brown and Juju and all those guys. We had, he's still throwing the ball to Juju, I guess, but he would just not anywhere where he normally is. And the Steelers bring in Mitch Trubisky, who, in 2018, he was in the top 3 in QBR behind Mahomes and Breeze. He's shown flashes he can be a solid player. He's in a much better organization, being with the Steelers than the Bears. He's with much better coaching with Mike Tomlin there. I know Tomlin's a defensive guy, but, I think Mike Tomlin...
He's a solid coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach. Yeah, they do, and then if that doesn't work out, they also have Mason Rudolph, who went 5-3 as a starter in 2019. Like I said, you're telling me neither one of those guys can be as good, if not better, than Big Ben was last year, and that's a team that still made the playoffs. Then you have the Browns that add Amari Cooper and Deshaun Watson. They have a top 5 defense last season. Then you have the Ravens, who, if they weren't plagued by so many injuries, would have, and even though they were plagued by so many injuries, we're still in the playoff hunt. So this is 4 legitimate playoff teams, and I'm not saying that the Chargers with Justin Herbert, Devontae Adams going to the Raiders, and Russell Wilson going to the Broncos doesn't make that division 4 potential playoff caliber teams as well. But I don't know what they look like yet. I don't know what these teams, if they're going to be just kind of good on paper and fizzle out. And also, I feel like to be the toughest division in football, you also can't be a team that still has kind of a clear-cut favorite, because I don't think any of these moves put any of those AFC West teams above the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs are still the team to beat in the AFC West. They also just added Juju today, or not today, but they added Juju Smith-Schuster. So I don't see any of those teams with the moves they made. That none of those moves make me confident enough to say, like, yes, the Raiders are going to be better than the Chiefs. Yes, the Chargers are going to be better than Chiefs. Yes, the Broncos are going to be better than Chiefs. Because remember, with Russell Wilson going over there, Russell Wilson had talent around him in Seattle too, and wasn't doing much with that. So, he's got a better defense than he had in Seattle the last few years. But as far as he had DK Metcalf, he had Tyler Lockett. He had Chris Carson, who, is, a solid running back. So it's not like the cupboard was bare in Seattle and he was just kind of the last man standing. Like, they had talent. So I don't think it's automatic to say, well, Russell to the Broncos, makes them, a runaway favorite for the AFC West.
People say that just because the Broncos, now the Broncos are favored to win the Super Bowl because they saw what Peyton Manning did when he got traded.
True.
Or when he got cut and signed there. Oh, it's Peyton Manning all over again. No, not really. That Broncos team was good, and they were literally a quarterback away from being a Super Bowl. That was literally winner.
The final piece.
Yeah, that's all they needed. That defense was stellar. I think this is a hot take, to be honest, because you basically argued against your own argument. You basically contradicted it, essentially. Like, when you look at the AFC North, who's better than the Bengals, really?
Browns can be. I don't think the Bengals are not the runaway favorite like the Chiefs are, in my opinion.
See, but I think when I look at the AFC West, I don't have a ton of faith in the Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are going to go all of a sudden be knocking on the door of the Super Bowl, but the Chargers have made the right moves to put themselves right up there in the conversation with Kansas City, to be honest. What we saw this past year is Kansas City is beatable. People have figured out now how to handle Patrick Mahomes. Yeah, they still can win a lot of games, and they do, but it's not like, oh man, how are we going to ever stop this guy? Teams have figured it out. It's just a matter of, can they do it? And some can, some can't. I feel like the Chargers have made enough moves to, put themselves up in that conversation with the Chiefs. Now, the Broncos, I think, are right there in third, and I still put the Raiders last just because they did lose a lot defensively. I mean, it's tough to replace Yannick and Ngakoue, but I don't know. I don't have as much faith, I guess, in the AFC North as you do, because North. Mitchell Trubisky he's better than an old beat up Roethlisberger, but they don't have Juju Smith-Schuster anymore. I mean, so there's that. And then, the Browns got Deshaun Watson and they signed Amari Cooper, but they also let go of Jarvis Landry. And I don't have faith in the Browns until that organization can actually prove to me that they are good enough, or they can handle having good players and actually put a solid game plan together. I feel like the coaching and the front office there just can never get out of their own way. And they've had teams in the past that are really good teams. They just couldn't capitalize on it because the coaching has been atrocious in Cleveland. Baltimore, I feel like Baltimore is on the decline, to be honest. I feel like Lamar Jackson is working his way out of there. I feel like right now I have more faith in the AFC West being a dogfight for that division title than I do the AFC North. I think the AFC West gets more teams into the playoffs than the AFC North. I wouldn't be surprised if the AFC North only got 2 and then the AFC West got 3.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the AFC in general. I was going to bring it up.
The AFC in general is
I was talking about it today with my dad. I was like, what's crazy is the fact that there are almost literally twice as many teams you can talk about being in the playoff hunt in the AFC as there are playoff spots. The only 3 teams I would probably I am ruling out already are the Texans, the Jets, and the Jaguars. Those are the teams that you would say are definitely, you could talk yourself into the Dolphins. You like the Patriots, you like the Bills, all 4 AFC North teams, all 4 AFC West teams, the Titans and the Colts. That's 13 of 16 teams, whereas on the NFC side, you've got Tom Brady, assorted others. You've got Aaron Rodgers, assorted others. You've got the NFC West, which is still good. They just are down a peg without Russell on the Seahawks. And then you've got the East.
The NFC West is falling apart.
It's definitely not the best. It's definitely not the best division anymore.
Good shape. No, definitely not. And
the Rams are the clear-cut favorite now, whereas last year
the Rams being in that division.
The Rams are clear-cut favorite. It's all 4 division winners you can confidently predict right now. But so I guess my question is this, and this, I guess we have 2 different definitions of we're basing on 2 different versions of tough, like what division's tough. Because I agree, there's a very good chance that there could be 4, or not 4, but there could be more AFC West teams than AFC North teams. But I don't think that necessarily means it's the toughest division. What I'm basing it on is can you say you are more confident today with the Cincinnati Bengals winning the AFC North than you are the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC West?
Yes.
Okay, and then I'm the opposite of that. I have more faith in the Kansas City Chiefs winning the AFC West than I do the Bengals winning the North, and that's what I'm basing on.
It has nothing to do with a little bit to do with Russell Wilson being traded to the Broncos. I think.
That division Russell got Wilson better, hands down. But
it's going to be tougher for Kansas City to win it because can the Broncos steal one from the Chiefs and help another team out like the Chargers? Yeah. That's what I'm looking at. It's not going to be as easy for the Chiefs to win it now. It's not like, okay, we have 2 games against the Broncos. Good. That will be a big help. It's not like when you look at the Colts and you look at their schedule and you go, okay, we got 2 games against the Houston Texans. Okay, good. That helps. Those are 2 good, easy games.
So you'd like to think we saw what happened against the Jaguars.
Yeah, well, we haven't won in Jacksonville since 2013?
Yeah, that's true.
Like that, something ridiculous like that, or it's 16, I think. I don't know, something ridiculous. So, but That's why I said the Houston Texans.
Yeah, I know.
But, it's possible that, the Chiefs are still going to make the playoffs, and they're going to be one of those teams right up there at the top of the AFC West. But there's a chance that they can slip up now. There's in that division and lose one to the Broncos, and all of a sudden, bam, the Chargers have the tiebreaker. Chargers win the division.
Yep.
I think it's more possible. Because the quarterback situation for all of those teams is 100% truly solidified. Yeah. And I can't say that about the AFC North because I don't feel like Lamar Jackson is long for the Baltimore Ravens, and Trubisky I'm still out on. Like, I know a lot of people had him linked to the Colts, and I was like, oh, please God, anybody but Trubisky. Well, there was other people I didn't want to. But,
yeah. Fine, here's Kirk Cousins.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
But, it's when you have the biggest position in football locked in on your team, and then you put the right pieces around them. Do I think Denver's done enough to be up there? No, but they've done enough to be
contenders.
They've done enough to ruin somebody else's division title. The Chargers have done enough to be contenders for that division. The Raiders, same thing as the Broncos. They are right there. I don't think they stand a chance to win the division, but they can ruin somebody else's chances as well. And I can't say the same thing about the teams in the AFC North. I can't say this truly confidently say the same things about the other teams in the AFC North outside of the Cincinnati Bengals. I feel like the Cincinnati Bengals are the best team in that division, and I don't see who else could really contend it with them.
Yeah, that's fair.